Hello, everyone, and welcome to Our Life in Horror. We are a horror movie podcast with a gore-filled side of news, physical media, and everything spooky. My name is Brendan, a horror addict since birth, and with me is my horror queen, Sam. Today we have two very important guests with us. We have Ross and Lucas Paul from Skinamarink.
How's it going?
Ross, would you like to plug your Instagram account for everybody?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram under Ross Paul or Ross's Awesome Sauce.
I like that name.
I do too.
That
That's
was
good.
before, obviously way before Skinamarink blew up.
How you doing, Lucas?
Good.
Good? Yeah? Do you want to play a game?
Sure.
We'll start with an icebreaker game.
What's that game?
We're going to play Would You Rather.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. I'll start with you. Would you rather eat McDonald's or eat cake?
I already know that. I say no then. So,
Did you forget the question?
yeah.
Would you rather eat McDonald's or eat
cake?
Or cake?
This is hard. Cake.
Yeah.
Cake?
Wow, I'm
Wow,
shocked.
yeah,
I
it
thought
was
you were going to pick
McDonald's.
McDonald's for sure.
Me too. Is the right Lucas here? Did we get the right kid? Just kidding.
Okay, Ross, those questions might be a little harder for you. Would you rather watch Skinamarink again or the Terrifier movies?
Oh, man.
Just from our conversation we had the other day?
Yeah. 'Cause I do like horror movies, but Terrifier movies were next level gore, and that was pretty hard to watch, some of it. But Skinamarink, with the experience I had, oh, man, I don't know.
I knew this one would be hard.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Terrifier, I guess, just
All right.
because. Yeah, that's really tough. But I think I can handle like gore. I can get over, but the whole with what was happening to my son or character's son in the movie had lasting effects for a few days and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
that's more psychological.
Yeah. Terrifier's a little more campy fun too, right? Like it's got
That's
that
got
80s kind of charm
distorted.
to it.
All right, I got another one for you, Lucas.
Oh, yes?
Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
Oh, this is so hard.
Do you want to fly like Superman, or do you want to not be able to be seen, like, help me out because I don't know any other superheroes?
I think the only one is like the Invisible Man.
Okay.
That's the only one I can think of.
Too hard? Yeah? You want to
Yeah.
do both?
Or do you not want to
Yeah.
do either?
Both.
Both? That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll give you that.
Okay, we got one more for you here, Ross.
No, there's two more. I added another today.
Oh, right, I forgot.
Sorry.
Would you rather give up acting or give up the gym?
Oh man.
I did research. I saw that you're a big gym goer, so I was like,
Yeah,
yes, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I've taken like 2 years off, and then I felt that's when I got really depressed. And
Oh, no.
yeah, and then I was like, oh, what happened to me? And then yeah, because I really love being fit and going to the gym, but I love acting. And
You can say both.
no, you got to say both because you're 8 years old, and yeah. Oh man, what? That is such a tough question.
Come
I-
on. You can do
I could
this.
cheat and say I could give up the gym, but I could still go for walks.
Yeah.
There's a loophole.
That's,
Yeah.
I found a loophole.
that's fair. You can still work out, just don't go to the gym.
I'm sorry, that's a cop out. I would choose act. I would give up the gym
And keep
stick with
acting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Lucas, I got one more for you.
Yes.
I'm laughing already. Would you rather fart every time someone says hi to you or get the hiccups twice a day?
Void.
Yeah.
The other fart? Yeah.
Void every time that somebody says hi to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
And
You
I
fart
love
away,
farting,
dude.
You love farting?
And I love rubbing my butt on my dad.
Oh, Lucas.
This is gold.
Oh, man.
and my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it.
And then I remind you of how inappropriate that is, right?
All right. We got one more for Ross.
Yep. Ross, would you rather meet a famous person who is boring or meet a regular person who is hilarious?
Stumpers.
These questions took us a couple days to think of.
A famous person who is boring or a regular person who is hilarious? I'm going to say a famous person who is boring because I'm sure even though they might be boring, I'm sure there's something to learn from them.
All right.
All right,
That's a
sure,
good answer.
yeah.
Because I'm not super famous, but if they're, or even before all this, like, I mean, how many people get the opportunity to pick someone's brain that's famous, right?
Yeah.
Or interact with them, so that'd be an opportunity.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I'd
true.
probably
That's a
pick the
good
same
answer.
thing because there's a lot of hilarious people out there, so I'll meet them later.
Yeah, I have a lot of hilarious friends.
Come on, pick. Come on, pick.
Oh, he did?
He did pick.
That was my answer.
What was it?
It was I would rather meet a boring famous person because I look at that as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great answer. Yeah.
I came up with that all by myself.
All right, so that's the game. We're going to do a quick summary of the movie for listeners in case they haven't seen it, but I'm sure they probably have if they're listening. And then we'll get into questions. So for those that don't know, Skinamarink is a 2022 Canadian horror film. It was written and directed by Kyle Edward Ball in his featured directorial debut. Both Ross and Lucas, who we have here, are stars in the film. The film follows two children that wake up in the night to discover their parents are missing and the doors and windows start disappearing. The budget was $15,000, and the most recent that I saw online is that the movie made over $2 million now.
Is it over?
Or
2
is it
million?
at 2
The last time I
million?
saw was 1.9 some.
That
I
was the last
looked.
I've heard of it.
I looked yesterday, and I
Yesterday.
thought I saw 2, but
Really?
I could be wrong.
It was I knew it was going to hit 2 anyway.
Yeah,
eventually,
it
'cause
was reaching its way up there.
Yeah, this movie's definitely making waves.
Yeah.
And it's going to Poland. Maybe this is too early in the interview, but
It's doing a theatrical run there?
yeah, Kyle just posted it on Facebook.
Okay.
It's going to be hitting 73 cinemas in Poland.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember when though. I think probably within the next week or two. It's on.
So we're going to
I'll have to check.
Poland?
Poland, yeah. That's
going
over
to
in Europe.
Poland?
No, are we going to Poland? You never know. We might.
Just might end
Just
up
give
there.
it time. Just give it time. If someone rich dude in Poland wants to fly us to Poland to hang out at their cinema, well,
Then
or-
you're going to
yeah,
Poland.
then we're going to Poland. I'm on the plane. Our bags are already packed. For anybody that's from Poland and listening, we're good to go.
Oh, you're gonna miss us?
Yep.
Oh,
Aw.
we're gonna miss you too.
Thank you.
That was random. I like eggs.
And you're the best popcorn maker ever.
Yeah, she does make some good popcorn.
So where are you guys from? We'll get into all the questions.
Alberta,
Alberta. That's where you're living now.
Waddale.
Red Deer.
Yep.
Okay,
Red
cool.
Deer, Alberta, yeah.
Cool.
I'm originally from Nova Scotia, but yeah, currently residing in Red Deer. I've lived all over
Okay.
Canada, but
But
this is where home base is right now.
my brother was born in Edmonton, so we're born in separate places.
Yeah, 2 different cities.
Okay.
Mm.
Cool.
My brother was born in March 20th, and I was born in March 20.
No, you were
20
June.
June 21st.
Okay, you're June.
Yep.
I'm June too.
I'm a June as well.
Are you?
We're all
Are you-
Geminis.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if 25th reaches Gemini, but it does.
Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, I don't
Am
know.
I?
what
I don't
cutoff
know
point
the
is.
cutoff. I just know
We're just
my
gonna
own.
say it because Geminis are cool and you're cool.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And we got one Sagittarius here, Brendan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm,
so-
I'm the odd man out.
How dare you?
And you can leave.
Yeah.
How do you for the last for the one that made a famous person that is boring? That means I'm
He's still on it.
Okay.
So, Ross, you started, before you got into acting, you were in metal bands, I hear.
Yeah, that was back in the day. That would be when I second time I came to Niagara Falls. I met a guy named John at the school because I hadn't finished my grade 12. I hadn't graduated at the time, so I decided to go to an adult learning center here in Niagara Falls and get my diploma. And that's where I met John Robinson. And him and I started a band called Scape at the time, and it was me, him, and his girlfriend who played bass, Janet. And we didn't have a drummer. He used a drum machine and recorded the drums to our songs on a CD. and played them during live shows. So it
Wow.
was just 3 people and an invisible drummer.
I've
wow.
never heard of that.
Yeah, I've never heard of
Yeah,
that.
I didn't like it. They liked it. I don't know. I had mixed feelings because drummers are awesome. They
Yeah.
just look cool. Drums look cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, and then I met Jordan, and he was trying to form a band, Nangari, and I believe I was singing for his band Nangari for a while, and then I forgot to mention that Scape ended, and then I started SKNS, and yeah, so the 2 bands went on, kind of toured Niagara Falls, St. Catharines, Toronto, stuff like that together, off and on for a bit. So
All right.
it's really fun. I miss it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Do you still got the pipes? Yeah. You still got the singing pipes?
no, I never liked my singing. Everybody compared me to Henry Rollins, but oh, sorry. So yeah, I was a front man for Nangari, but I played rhythm guitar in SKNS. So I'm naturally a guitar player more than I am a front man. I mean,
Okay.
I love being a front man. I love diving off stage and starting mosh pits. That was pretty fun. There was a couple I didn't even make it back on stage for.
Oh my
Oh, really?
gosh.
Yeah, got trampled in my own mosh pit.
Oh my gosh. I, would
I was
be
drunk though
terrified.
too, so that. I mean, oops! I keep forgetting my kid is here.
How did you
Hold on.
transition into acting?
Transition to acting. That is, yeah, I know exactly how. It's called my relationship ended and my job ended, and this sounds like a country song, and I lost my dog. No, I didn't lose my dog, but yeah, my relationship ended, the bands ended. It just seemed like the three things I had going on at the time, a whole bunch of everything just ended. I don't know, all at once, and obviously I was like, what am I gonna do now? And then so I flew back home to Nova Scotia and started from scratch, like, because I had no idea where I was going or what I was doing from there. And then I thought, I really did always want to act, but like, I've always wanted to do one of 2 things: either make it as a rock star in a band or be a famous actor.
Yep.
So I tried the rock star thing first, and then I thought, well, that didn't work out, so now let's get serious about acting. So I literally just Googled it, because I'm like, I don't know, like, what's the quickest, fastest way? And the general consensus was just to do it. So then I was like, okay, so how do I just do it? Like, so then the 2 answers that I got were join a play, like a theater group, because if you can make it, if you can do a play, then you can do anything, right? Because you don't get to take 3 when you're performing on stage in front
It's
of
all
people.
live, yeah.
Yeah, you get it. That's it. Your one take. So, yeah, if you can kind of master that. So I did that, so it was that and casting calls for like background work, just as extras.
Yep.
Okay.
So you get your set experience. So how I got started was I found a casting call in the newspaper. This was when I was in Nova Scotia, and they were filming a TV miniseries called Moby Dick, and it was starring Ethan Hawke, Charlie Cox, who acts as Daredevil, and Billy Boyd, who's one of the Hobbits,
That's
and
cool.
Gillian Anderson from X-Files, and William Hurt. I can't think of his movies right now, but he's a pretty big deal. Yeah, that was my first set experience. That was filmed in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. I think I got a good solid 4 weeks on set, and it was like 6 a.m. start till like 11, 12 at night. Like, it was
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
And they just cut us all a check at the end of each night. Like, they were just writing checks at the end of every day. It was pretty crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
Did
pretty
you meet
wild.
anyone famous?
Well, technically, Ethan Hawke looked at me. I think this is kind of it's kind of a funny story. I was going to save till later, but I think I was on set and I was like smiling, and I was just kind of in my head, and I was like acting like out my scene a little bit, but I probably from his point of view, he's looking at me like, what is this guy doing? Like, what is he okay? So he just kind of looked over at me and was like, hey, how's it going? Like, gave me a nod, and I looked at him like, oh yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks. How are you? And he just ignored me and kept going. He's like, okay, yeah.
Hey,
So-
take what you can get.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, why did I even think Ethan Hawke would want to strike up a conversation with me in the middle of a take, like a scene? It was in between scenes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, Moby Dick behind the scene. Sorry, extra background work. That's how I got started.
All right. And how long ago was that? How long have you been acting for then?
Man, well, that was 2010. So
Okay.
I've been in and out of it. So because I did that, and then afterwards, that's when I decided I'm going to make my way to Alberta. The plan was to go to the oil field and make a ton of money and use that money to I don't know, either go to Vancouver or you know what I mean, just bank a bunch of money and see where that took me. And then that's when I ended up getting an agent in Calgary, and they got me on the TV show Heartland. But again, it was more background work.
Okay.
The closest thing I got to anything big was like when I played a horse jockey. You can see me in one of the episodes. It's season 3, episode 4. I wish I would have wrote that down. But anyway, it's either it's definitely season 3, and I think it's episode 4 and 5 or 6. And I'm a horse jockey in the background, and you can see me. And it was cool. It was a good experience too. I witnessed director kicking someone off of set that day, so I learned about set etiquette really fast.
Why did they get kicked off?
He was trying to be Jim Carrey. I think he thought, oh, I'm going to just be funny, I'm going to be a comedian, and they're going to think I'm funny, and I'm going to get hired. That's what from watching him and listening to him, and some people are like, no, like, they're trying to shoot a scene here, and he was being too loud. And then the director was like, can you please be quiet? And then I guess he kind of started fighting her a little bit, which I'm like, why would you do that? You just ended your career.
Yeah.
The only reason why one of the reasons people make it or stay in the industry is by your reputation, by how easy you are to work with, and if you're good to work with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's huge. That'll take you a long ways.
Yeah.
And if you have experience.
I heard someone else talking about that on another podcast recently about someone fighting with a director, and they're like,
well,
stop
unless
that.
you're Chris Hemsworth or
Yeah, a big name, right?
Yeah, Angelina Jolie or I don't know, what's another big actress name? Well, you know what I mean. Unless you're an A-lister, you're not going to be. Don't fight with directors, because all they have to do is say, "I will never work with that person again," and why, and then word of mouth will get around, and you won't get a job again. So definitely be nice to your directors and everybody on set, and yeah.
How was how did the director throw him out? Was it like pretty? Did it scare you? And
Oh yeah, because he was sitting right beside me. But I was annoyed and I was like nervous at the same time. I was like, did this guy just screw it up for all of us? Are we all gonna get kicked? Because she was like, okay, I need you to leave now. And he was like, what? And I don't really remember exactly, but she just said go, and then he finally just stormed off set.
Yeah. Wow.
That was good.
Crazy.
Yeah. I remember making a little joke after that, or just before that, but the way I did it was just, like, very nonchalant, and it was timing. And then the guy, I can't remember his name now, he acts in Heartland, the guy that's married to the chick.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
Anyway, he actually that was the kicker part. He actually liked my joke and ended up laughing with me, and we actually fist bumped.
Oh, nice.
That was my little moment. I was like, yes, but I didn't push it. I was just like, okay, I made my little joke. We had a moment.
Leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
That was it.
Leave it while you're ahead, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Lucas,
Yes.
do you have any siblings, and do they act?
Do you know what siblings are?
Do you have a brother or sister?
I want to have a brother.
You have a brother? How old is your brother?
10.
He's 10. Does he act too?
No.
What does your brother do?
Well, he did do the same commercial as he played in Save the Turtles with me.
Okay.
The commercial with you, yeah.
Yeah, they were in a commercial together.
Okay,
in
that's
Ohio.
cool.
It's about saving the turtles and don't later in the ocean so the turtles can swim good and don't get hurt by the plastic and anything in the ocean.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Has he done any other acting or just the commercial?
No, just a commercial.
Okay.
Okay.
What grade are you in?
3.
3. What's your favorite subject?
What is the subject?
What's your favorite class? Like, what do you like, gym, or do you like drama or math?
My favorite part, I like doing math.
Math?
Do you like doing math?
Okay.
I
You got a
feel
little smarty
ashamed
over
of
here.
saying this, but I just found out how good he was actually good
Oh,
at math
really?
was the other night. Like, I knew he's good because I obviously looked at his math marks coming home, but I never quizzed him before.
Yeah.
And Carol, my friend Jordan, his girlfriend, was quizzing him, and she was just firing off the questions, and he was just getting them like
Well, math whiz.
55 plus 42 or 30, like, you know, like a lot of hard addition
Yeah.
questions, and he was just getting them like one after the other. and I
Wow.
was like, wow.
Little genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't. I'm sorry. I need to pay attention a little more, I guess.
So, what do you guys like to do in your spare time?
Well, I do it like in the morning when we don't have school. I usually go to bed and get some breakfast, and when he's awake, I go upstairs and he's in bed, then I go on him and
You-
just beat him up. But sometimes he stops me
So-
by pushing me over.
Wow.
Right, Daddy?
Okay, yeah, we like to wrestle and play, fight, and all that stuff. In our
That's a
spare
fun
time.
hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also like to play Xbox,
Yep. Minecraft. Like you
Minecraft,
always got addicted.
and I'll help you put Lego together sometimes.
Well, not read, but yeah. Why is everybody staring at me?
We're listening to you answer the
Yeah.
question.
They're very interesting answers. So, what else?
You like to go to the gym,
Well, we do like going swimming, but
swimming.
Oh yeah, how could I
Sometimes
forget
my-
that? I got them in the swimming lessons, and yeah, we go swimming quite a bit actually.
Okay, that's cool.
sometimes
There's someone to go on water slides with you.
Yeah.
I don't like water slides; they scare me.
Oh really?
Yeah,
well, I don't like
The tunnel ones or all of them? Any of them?
mainly the tunnel ones, but I still get uneasy about the other ones. I've seen too many videos of people flipping right off the sides. It just freaks me
How do
out.
they
I
like
know.
I go fast because I know how to. Like I put my body straight as a board, but
Yeah.
I kind of raise myself up on my shoulder blades and then like.
They hurt
Well, you know how
too,
you arch
though.
your back and stuff, and then
Yeah.
I get a lot of speed, and I don't
Yeah.
go flying. I don't. How do people go flying
I
out
don't
of
know.
them?
I know, I
I
don't
see-
either, but I've seen the videos she's talking about. Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's mainly when they're like in the big, the tubes, right? That's probably
Yeah,
when you see it.
probably.
Yeah, so
I
they'll
need
get
to
like
see
an
this
extra.
video.
They'll get like an extra
I'll
push.
find
Don't
you
watch
one.
videos
I'll
before
find you
doing
one.
stuff. There you go.
I also don't like the tunnel ones because claustrophobic.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part about acting?
Favorite part about acting?
I
You
know.
want to answer
Yeah.
that,
All
Lucas?
right, Lucas, you go
Lucas
first.
my favorite part of acting is telling the line and showing it. Like when I'm famous right now, it's all shows my line where they go or like any lines I
Oh, like in Skinamarink, you mean? You saw your line on the TV. It
Okay.
was cool to see your.
My line was where did they go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of acting.
Okay.
And because of what I look like. But this movie, I kind of look the same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the same hair, same shirt, and same size.
Not the same shirt. You were wearing pajamas. You don't remember?
No?
It's okay. It was.
I'm
It's
not
been like almost 2 years.
couple
now.
years,
It's been
yeah.
a couple years. So even some of the answers, it's hard for me to remember now.
That's
As-
fair.
as
Yeah.
much as happened, but
And my other part of acting is that going to a theater and being on a stage and telling everybody what I acted them and
you mean
and
seeing
some-
yourself?
like seeing yourself on the poster.
Okay.
And I like going on stage and answer all the questions.
Yep.
When I first went on stage here, I was pretty nervous, but every time I went on stage, I wasn't.
I think everyone gets nervous when they go on stage. That's okay. You'll get used to it quick.
And
Yeah.
I still like that video of me shot on stage.
Yeah, at the premiere
Yeah.
and at
Like
Capital
how-
33.
This was my line to everybody. Hello everybody, thank you for watching our movie Skinamarink. That's what
Nailed
I
it.
said.
Yeah, that was
Awesome.
good. You still remembered it.
They said and clapped. Because it's really nice. But
Yeah,
Daddy,
can I have turn?
What's your favorite part about acting, Ross?
Lucas?
I know.
Okay. My favorite part about acting. That is a really good question. There's a whole bunch of good things about acting. I mean, obviously, you get to meet new people, traveling new places, different experiences, and then obviously depending on what kind of, like what I'm doing, is horror, action, or whatever, right? And all the skills you pick up along the way. So, for example, obviously, if I were to do a role where I'm a barbarian sword fighting, I'd have to learn sword fighting techniques, right? Or if I was playing a wrestler, or if I was playing a cowboy, or whatever I'm playing, you have to learn those skills ahead of time. So if you think about it, every time you get a role, you have to go out and learn all those skills. So you're constantly learning, and
That's cool. I've never actually thought about that. That you have to take on the role of every single character, right? So you become them almost for a bit.
Yeah, I actually just thought about that. Like not too long ago, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, like when you first start out, you probably you start off with your basic skills. Like I can play guitar, I can paint, I can skate or do that. But then you have to go out and acquire other skills for different, for other roles.
Yeah.
So you're just constantly bettering yourself and adding to your list of skills. Like it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So that's a huge bonus.
That's a good answer. I like that.
And traveling, new experiences, gaining new skills, and meeting new people, and I guess that's it. Like, and obviously the fame is a little bit nice.
Yeah.
Popularity's being nice to a degree, but there's a downside.
There's a downside to everything.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not having any peace.
Yeah.
Or being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Well, since this is a horror movie podcast, do you guys like horror movies?
Do you like horror movies, Lucas?
Yeah, but not when they had like those or like something like a jump scare. That's what I don't like.
We don't really let him watch horror movies, but his mother did let him watch the first Halloween or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me that at dinner the other night.
And
yeah. So
Mikey.
we're separated. We're not together. Just so everyone knows, they go to their moms on the weekends. And,
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm single dad, full-time single dad. But,
Okay.
Yeah. So the one time, I don't know why she thought it was cool for him to see Halloween, and then
I saw the first one and the second one, the other third one, because it's way different.
yeah,
You saw all three of the originals?
You saw the first and second one?
Yep, then the fourth one, then the fifth one.
You saw that many Halloweens?
And the sixth
Wow.
one. And that's all.
Yeah, hopefully no more, because you guys I had trouble sleeping after that, and you
Yeah, I
asked me a
bet.
lot of questions, and yeah, so try not to let them see too many horror movies, or I don't anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
When you're older.
Yeah, when you're older, because it kind of messed with them a little bit, like, because they were just constantly asking me questions, and he wanted to come sleep in my bed, and then he didn't want to sleep alone, and or some nights I had to lay down with him until he fell asleep, so, or he wouldn't go downstairs unless it was lit up, or he wouldn't even go down the basement alone.
Yeah.
For like a couple weeks.
Do you like horror movies though?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
What
I'm
would-
not like a horror fanatic. Like I don't have the posters on my wall. I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
I loved the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Oh, like
Freddy.
Yeah,
Freddy and Jason. Friday the 13th. I loved all those movies. I remember being terrified of those. And Texas Chainsaw. What are some other horror movies? I guess all the classics. But then I did I also like Blair Witch. That really creeped me out big time. And same with Paranormal Activity. I found like it depends. Because there's different kinds of horror people, right? Some people love the gore and the splatter, and some people are more drawn towards the supernatural side of things. So
What do you like better?
I think I'm drawn more towards the supernatural, like, because Paranormal Activity really, because you gotta question if that's real. Is that that's probably more likely, right?
Yeah.
I mean, both can happen. People get murdered in the real world, but if that's real, like, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Right? You can't call the cops for a demon, right?
There's something more almost like realistic about something like that happening. You know, if you were to stumble upon like the Paranormal Activity movie on TV without seeing like that it's a movie, you believe that's real, like 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh
that-
yeah, the way it was done. Yeah, that it messed with me. Well, it probably messed with a lot of people because then you're thinking like every time you hear something, is that a ghost or is that just the wind or the house creaking or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah. Lucas, do you have a favorite scary movie?
How about a favorite movie? Because he's only seen the Halloween ones, right?
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite movie?
My favorite movie is
There's so many. We've liked a lot. I mean, all
Well,
the Disney ones and Marvel movies.
in
And
the past of years, me, my mom, and Ryan really liked The Mask.
The Mask?
The Mask?
Carrey,
Jim
yeah.
Carrey?
That
Nice.
movie scared me as a kid.
Why?
yeah, we
It
just watched
scared
it again
me.
the other night, and I was watching, and I'm like, there's some weird stuff in here.
Yeah.
But when was The Mask around? Was that?
It was like early 90s.
Was it 90s?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That was Cameron Diaz's first movie.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah. I think that every boy knew that,
Yeah.
that they liked women.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember having a crush on her at that time.
I think
Yeah.
I had a crush on her at that time.
Yeah, everybody and their mom had a crush on her.
I have two crushes on two girls.
Yeah?
Oh.
My friend Piper had a crush on me, and my friend Mado had a crush on me.
Oh, yeah?
I thought you said you had a crush on two people.
Yeah.
Or two people had a crush on you.
Two people had a crush on me, and I had two crushes on them.
Oh, so it worked out.
Yeah. Play in the field.
And when in grade 2, me and Piper were pretending to marry.
Oh.
That's cute.
I was so nervous that I had to run away.
The good news is you can walk away from that one.
Yeah.
You
feel like
it's pretty
I
easy to
had-
get out of that.
I feel like I had abandoned her, but they got me. They always send me when I don't want to do something. I just open and I no, and I'll go kiss her. And guess what?
What?
The other part that Piper was got a dandelion for me because she really wanted to marry me.
She was getting dandelions for you because she really wanted to marry you.
She's like, here you go.
That's sweet.
She really wanted to marry me.
All right, we got one more question before we get into the Skinamarink questions. But what scares you?
In what movie?
Oh, just in general, in life.
real life.
What scares
Yeah.
you?
What's scary? What scares you?
Do you not like heights, water? Well, you like to swim, so
Yeah.
clearly not water.
The dark.
Well,
You're scared of the dark sometimes.
well, I'm still going alone
Yeah.
in the door.
Yeah, that can be scary.
Yeah.
What about you?
Excuse me.
Because one time it died and I didn't want to go to my dad's. And so we had to make a deal. So I ran through the hallway and opened the door, but it up by itself, but there's nobody behind the door.
Oh,
And I
What?
was like,
When did this happen?
remember when it like ran away?
Did this happen in our house?
No, Mommy's house.
Oh,
In Portsmouth.
so you were running down the hall and then the door closed by itself or moved by itself?
No,
The lights?
It's like
The handle?
twisting the handle.
The door handles were moving by themselves? Wow.
well, that's
All
scary.
right, maybe you shouldn't live there anymore. All right.
There's nobody behind the door.
What scares you, Ross? Besides paranormal ghosts.
Marriage.
Marriage? All right.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm not afraid of heights. I don't think because I've thought about that. Okay, this is kind of weird. I think I've always wanted to go surfing and be out in the ocean. I love the ocean,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I have a fear. While I love sharks and I've always been very interested in them and I want to swim with them one day, I'm also the first thought is, am I going to get my leg bit off, or am I going to attack a shark attack?
Yeah.
So that's probably the only real thing that scares me. There ain't much else that does. It's weird. So I'm conflicted. So one day I want to soon, hopefully, go somewhere tropical and swim with sharks, so I can overcome that fear. And
Yeah.
that's actually on my bucket list.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's on mine too. I want to do the shark cage with all the
Nice.
great whites around.
I don't even want to use a
I
cage.
could never.
Oh no. See, I want
Well,
a
if
cage
it's
at
it
least.
depends. If it's a great white, obviously you might want a cage, but it depends. It depends.
Yeah, because there's like those low-level sharks that kind of don't mess with people, right? Yeah.
I want to do both. I want to do the cage, but I also want to do one without the cage.
Yeah, I would do it. I think after the cage, and you're a little more
I have a
comfortable.
question.
You know, but
Well, because I've done a lot of research on sharks and people that are trained with sharks, and they believe that they won't harm you if you know how to handle yourself in the water. It's only when you get panicky and they feel your heartbeat race, that's when
There you go.
when they may be more apt to attack or whatever. So it's really, it's something I want to try for sure
Yeah.
without the
Cool.
cage.
yeah, that's cool. Okay, guys. So how did you get the parts of Kevin and Kevin's dad in Skinamarink?
Well, Kyle. Okay, I need to back up. We need some context here. So, I filmed and directed my first music video at the time, and I had a teenager in the music video, and their mother went on to direct and film her first independent, like, Save the Turtles commercial. And that's when Rylan and Lucas did that, but Jamie Hill acted as the mom in the commercial. She's also the mom in Skinamarink.
Yep.
So that's how we got to know Jamie, and we had to do the turtle commercial to meet Jamie, and then Jamie already knew Kyle.
Okay.
And so then Jamie messaged me one day saying, hey, my friend Kyle wants to shoot his first feature film horror movie. And Jamie already knew Christy, who's the one that did sorry, I forgot to mention that. Christy Marchuk is the one that directed and filmed the turtle commercial. So Jamie is friends with Christy. Kyle had already seen, because obviously he was looking for a kid for Kevin, and he had already seen the turtle commercial, and he saw Lucas, and he said, Lucas is perfect. I want him for sure. But
Awesome.
And then Jamie told Kyle about me, because Kyle was looking for a single dad, because in the movie the dad is a single dad of 2 kids.
Yeah.
And so Jamie told him about me, and I did have to do an audition over the phone.
What did the audition look like?
That was weird because it was COVID time. I think it was, I can't remember if I think it was, we were just coming out of the lockdowns. I think they were just starting to ease up and stuff, so we had to do like a Zoom. Actually, I don't even think it was Zoom. I think it was just over the phone.
Phone call.
Yeah, because of the way Skinamarink was filmed. For those of you who've seen it, you know how he filmed it. He added our lines in, like he recorded our lines, like, and added the audio later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why the phone call worked, because then he knew what my voice sounded like.
Yeah.
And how it was going to sound on the screen. And when he heard my voice, he said, I like the sound of your voice, and you're a single dad. So, you know, I can't remember what he got me to say. I think I just probably said a line or two, and then he said, yep, you got the part.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. How long did filming take?
That's a funny question, because I know everybody thinks, films do take a long time. But because, Skinamarink was such a low budget and it was filmed in his mom's home, I think it was under 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
But, like, I was able to do all my scenes in one day, and Lucas was able to do all his scenes in one day, I believe.
Wow.
I think. It was a long day, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I know. I remember when I asked you that question at dinner, and you said it was one day. I was like, "What? Really?" But then after seeing the movie, I understand now why.
So for people that haven't seen the movie, they're gonna same reaction. They'll be like, that doesn't make any sense. But when you see the movie,
unless you're like one take wonders throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I just rocked it. I crushed it. I had everything memorized, and I was just so good.
So how was your time on set working with Kyle Edward Ball?
Lucas, do you want to answer that? Did you like working with Kyle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very nice.
Yeah, he was trying to help me make the poster. Like, he told me what to do to sit in the hole and tell me how long. Like, that was really nice.
He was directing you.
That's
And
awesome.
He was helping you, yep.
Like, if he didn't tell me how long, then that wouldn't be nice because if that happened and he said stop, and I was like, but if he said stop, and I thought he said stop, but he actually said don't get up, stay there.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. I get it. He was directing you, and you did everything he said to do, and he said you did a good job. Yeah, Kyle was great. He was pretty relaxed, and like he just seemed like one of the guys. He was so cool and so friendly and caring and very accommodating for us all. You know, making sure we're fed. And
Give that big dog.
what I liked about
Yeah.
Kyle, and I don't know, I've heard of a lot of directors doing this, but not all, is that, you know, they direct you. I want you, you know, you're going to do this scene this way. Then we'll do another take this way and that way. And then they'll give you a take to do your way.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of freedom. And that's what I liked about work. That was a bonus because he's kind of like, all right, and then you can just kind of do whatever you want to do.
That's cool.
He's an actor's director, as they
Yeah,
say.
yeah. So there's some directors that are probably very adamant and are just like, it needs to be done this way and that's it.
Yeah.
But then there are some directors that trust your actors that they may actually come up with something that you may not have thought of, and it may
Yeah.
work better, or it may not so much that it's better, or that it's just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I'd rather, I mean, it's not going to happen all the time, but it's very cool because you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so
And
it was
freedom is important.
so it was a good experience.
Overall, it was an awesome experience. I have no complaints.
That's cool about making the movie. That in the beginning, it would be opening the door, and when I was filming, I actually did that. Like, I had to be in the room doing something, but then when Kyle told me to go out, I had to then go to the other door, and Daddy was there, then Daddy and me had to go into the room, and then Kyle said to come out now, and then we're done at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was one of the beginning scenes where you and Kaylee, the character's name is Kaylee.
Yep.
Yeah, so Kevin and Kaylee were just kind of roaming around the halls in the beginning. Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's really dark in the room.
Yeah,
Really
it was really
dark.
dark filming some parts.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was there anything on? Was there a scene that scared you while shooting on set? Like, did anything scare you while you were making the movie? Did maybe Kyle scare you to get a good
Or
reaction?
maybe the
Were you
dark
scared at
scared
all?
you.
Well, the dog scared me.
Yeah.
Oh, remember that one scene you had to sit at the top of the stairs, and the whole house was dark, and we were just.
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah, there was a scene where you sat at the top of the stairs in Kyle's house. You were sitting on the stairs, remember, by the railing.
Uh,
That's okay. It was 2 years ago, so
Yeah, it was a while ago.
yeah.
2021.
So you were a little bit scared of the dark then, because there were some scenes you had to do where all the lights were off in there. It's like it was complete
Oh, wow.
black, and it's just a little light from the camera, and that was it.
Oh, cool.
So I
That
think
would have been spooky.
Was that spooky for you?
Yeah.
But everything else was safe because there was a scene. Some people ask me if there are any dangerous scenes or whatever, because there's a scene in the movie where it involves a knife.
Yeah.
And there are behind the scenes pictures on my Instagram. You can see Lucas holding an X-Acto blade, but just so everybody knows, there is no blade in the X-Acto blade.
Okay.
But it's just the shell.
Okay. Did you guys learn anything while filming Skinamarink?
What did you learn, Lucas? You learned how to make a movie.
Yeah.
You learned that he tells you what to do and they're recording what you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And The other thing I learned is to do what the director tells you to do.
Yeah.
And then you can do the rest by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you learn set etiquette?
What does that mean?
How to behave on
How
set.
to behave on set?
Oh,
Yeah, you did good. You listened to the director and you did what you were told, and you were pretty quiet when you had to be quiet. So yeah, I mean by that time I already been on a real set.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing I learned was the audio side of it,
Okay.
because we had to do our lines in a mic and recorded audio. So I think that's the only. Other than that,
How was it voice acting?
yeah, that's kind of what it was. Yeah, so I did learn. I guess I learned how to project my voice and how I kind of learned how to mess around with my voice, because I had to do the phone scene where I'm talking with my ex-wife on the phone at the beginning of the movie and explaining how Kevin fell down the stairs and he got hurt, but he didn't need stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually holding a real phone at the time. But there's a scene where I say, "Look under the bed." And that was tricky because Kyle was like, "I want you to say it. I want you to still be you, but like you're maybe a little bit possessed, but you're still you, the dad."
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So then I just grit it. So I just learned to mess with different things. Like a cool trick was just to hold your teeth together, and that's how I said that line.
Okay.
I was like, look, at that line, I said, look under the bed. Like that, so
Just don't take your teeth apart, kind of thing.
yeah,
Okay.
I just learned little tricks because I was trying a whole bunch of different things, and while you're running
how
through
come
different.
you say look under the bed?
Well, that was my scene in the movie when I was telling, I think it was Kaylee to look under the bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he wanted me to say that, like I was still myself, but a little bit possessed. But he just didn't want me to. He didn't want it over the top. You know. He didn't want to be like, look under the bed. You know. He just wanted me, so that Kaylee knew that it was her dad talking to him, still, but something wasn't quite right, just a little off. So he didn't want it too obvious, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was tricky. So I was trying to figure out how to get what the director wanted. So he just let me through a lot of takes and a lot of different techniques. I learned how to, I guess,
Daddy?
change my voice and do different things with my
Yeah.
voice
That's cool.
that I didn't know I could do.
Yeah.
Because I was just doing it. I was just winging it. Because I never done anything like that before, voice.
Yeah.
So
Daddy, I have a question.
what's up?
How can you told Daddy to look under the bed?
That's my character. The dad in the movie the entity was in control of the dad. I know it's hard for him to understand. He doesn't-
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew it was a scary movie, but then we decided not to really tell him any more than that, because then he was just starting to ask one question, and it led to another question,
Yeah.
then it started kind of making him scared. So I was like, you know what, Lucas, it's just a movie. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Just say your lines, because it just opened a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So we heard you guys had McDonald's on set. Lucas, what'd you have for McDonald's?
Such a happy meal.
Happy
Just
meal.
a Happy Meal? Did you get a burger or did you get nuggets?
You had a cheeseburger, because his go-to is cheeseburgers with no pickles.
Oh.
He's definitely a cheeseburger dude. I had a quarter-pounder meal, fries, and I think a milkshake and a 6-pack of nuggets, because I like to eat a lot.
I definitely want McDonald's after this.
Oh yeah.
I try not to eat McDonald's anymore, man. I eat so much it just started to make me feel really crappy.
Yeah.
It does.
It
Yeah.
tastes really good still going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Salads from McDonald's are good. Coffee's good.
I have never gotten a salad from McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, because if I'm going
actually
to
pretty
McDonald's,
decent.
I'm going to get the burger.
Yeah.
I know
that's
they
fair.
made them, but I can't remember anybody ever saying that they've had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an oddball. I eat salads.
What was the hardest part of filming Skinamarink, and what did you guys like best about filming Skinamarink? I know that's kind of a two-parter. What was the hardest part about filming?
The
Having to
hardest-
sit still.
Well, not
Yeah,
that,
probably.
but I did have to say a bad word.
Oh. Yeah, nobody knows about this.
What's that?
There in the script. This is juicy because nobody knows about this.
Oh.
Originally, it is in the script that Lucas's character, and I see if I can remember the lines. It was in the beginning of the movie. Originally, Kaylee and Kevin are supposed to have a conversation about their mom, and then I think I can't remember what it was about, but Kaylee says, I think Kaylee calls her mom a bitch, and then Kevin was supposed to say, "You're a bitch."
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
I thought, and Lucas had a really hard time with that. I thought it was funny, but then, like, from a viewer's perspective, that's hilarious for a little 8-year-old to call. While it's not appropriate and I don't condone it, but in the movies, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But, so, yeah, that was supposed to have happened in the movie originally. It's in the script. Kyle decided to remove it, not have it. I understand why now, because that would have it would have been a little funny, and it would have taken you out of the experience.
Yeah,
there was no
yeah.
room for comedic.
Doesn't really fit.
Yeah. Now watching the movie now, I see how it totally would have changed the atmosphere, and it would have changed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So it definitely would have taken away. But Lucas, he had a really hard time with swearing. He didn't want to.
Yeah.
And then I felt I was so conflicted because I'm like, oh, I don't want you saying bad words either, but it's for a movie, and you've heard kids swear in movies.
Oh,
all
yeah.
have,
Yeah.
So
He sort of
because
put
it happens in real life, it does.
He sort of put the bad word in the movie because they don't. So it makes sense.
Well, when he found out that it wasn't in there, Luke was like, "What?" And he got so upset because, well, from his point of view, he's like, "I really didn't want to say it," and we coached him. It took us a long time, and then he didn't even he just said "bitch" in the microphone, and that you did say the word once. We did get you saying it once, but you really had a hard time with it. And I think that's why you're mad, because it was such a big deal for him, and so
Yeah.
for that to be a big deal, and then it not to be put in the movie.
It's like, what was the point?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
get it, Lucas, and we're sorry, but you did a really good job, and that's what happens when we make movies. Sometimes they leave stuff out for whatever reason. Not everything makes it in a movie, and you love your mom, and you don't understand the same things that Kaylee does. So your first reaction was to say, you called your sister. You're like, you're a whatever for calling my mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're taking up for your mother. Because you didn't like Kaylee saying that about
the
mom.
monster in the movie, right?
Sort of.
Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Not the whole body.
So yeah, that's I never even thought of that. I forgot about that whole scene. Got taken right out.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
juicy exclusive right there.
Yeah. Nobody
They
else.
showed the mother's arm, like her taking off the bed, right?
Yeah.
What
It
is
was.
the bed?
Yeah. It's just Kyle wanted to do something different that's never been done before, and I think he achieved it.
What were your the best about filming Skinamarink and hardest part about filming Skinamarink?
Okay, so the best part was obviously meeting Kyle and everybody involved, because I love meeting new people. It's always a good experience, and yeah, so there's that. That's probably the best, and the memories and all the fun times that you have on set and all that stuff. So there's a whole bunch of. So that was the best, and I understand why you asked. So here's the thing: a lot of people ask me what's the hardest part, because they think. Because your typical horror movie, like slasher or whatever, there's a lot of running and there's there's this, a lot of. So with Kyle's style of filming, there wasn't too many really hard. I think people were trying to get at, was it hard for me watching Lucas or whatever, before they see the movie. But then after you see the movie, you realize you don't really actually see anything happening. It's all like you're told that it's happening.
Yeah.
So that's why it's weird. So As far as making the movie, sorry, I that's a tough question.
No, it's okay.
This is a really.
Well, you said voice acting was kind of
This
hard
is
to
a
get
really
going
hard
too,
question.
but you said you had a lot of fun with that too.
Okay, so yeah, now that I thank you for that because that helped. Because your typical movie, typically you go in and you say your lines on camera. So this
Yeah.
was the first film that I ever did where my lines weren't said while the camera's rolling. It was
Yeah.
all done separate. So that was a completely different experience for me.
So even though in this movie you don't really get to, do you get to see your face a lot? I don't.
You only get to
it's-
see the side of my face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
that's
briefly.
what I
Did
thought
you?
too.
Did you
When-
say the words while you're out on camera and then add them? Well, clearly you added them afterwards, but were you like
Mouthing
Nope.
it.
mouthing it? You're just
What do you mean?
like you're like ad libbing.
Nope. Nope.
'Cause I guess you
It
don't.
was completely separate. All the audio was separate. So it was like we did all the physical scenes where I'm sitting on the other edge of the bed and all that stuff in the first part of the day. And then the last half of the day, it was just me sitting on the couch with a microphone in front of me and all this audio equipment and
Okay.
saying all the lines
Yeah.
into a mic.
Okay.
That's why that was the challenging part because I'm so used to having to do something, like act it out and say it, versus. And I think that's why I wanted to actually grab the phone and I had to do it. So it was just different. I've never had to do just audio before.
Daddy,
Okay.
So that was the only. I guess that's the only real hard or challenging part of the movie was the audio
Yeah.
Okay.
because it was so different.
Okay.
Daddy,
Do you guys have any fun stories from being on set besides the one you told us about the stuff that was taken out? I guess.
Yeah.
Just any fun stories, any behind the scenes.
You accidentally burping into the mic during one of your lines. And yeah, I think there was a lot of burping that happened.
I had some chips.
Yep.
All right.
I think that was the funniest and only thing. It was just like when it came time, it's just he burped out one of his lines. I may have burped out a line too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drank a lot of pop that day.
I hope.
Lots of carbonation.
Yeah, it was.
Ross, what's your theory about what happened in the movie?
My theory, man, I've heard a lot. One of the theories I heard. Okay, so my theory is that it's an entity. Because honestly, Kyle still hasn't really told me much. He hasn't told anybody, and he did that on purpose. He wanted. It's kind of like, here it is, go talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's why he didn't give away a lot. And I think he's given away some now, but there's still some things he hasn't. But my whole take on it was there's an entity, like a demon, basically, and it's very powerful, like so powerful it takes control of the whole house, and then it starts taking control of the adults first, and then not so much takes control of the kids, but definitely the adults, and then just kind of starts playing around, having fun with the adults, messing with them, starts messing with the kids, obviously with Kevin and Kaylee, and I think it just kind of starts flexing its abilities, and I think that just the whole movie is just about this demon just taking over and having fun and messing with him the whole time as long as he wants, and just recreating stuff, and it's just a big head trip. Just yeah, that's, I don't know, man, that's such a crazy movie. I love it, but yeah, that's my theory. It's just a demon and everything. It takes control of the house and starts messing with the house and them at the same time.
Okay.
Because I've heard theories where people thought that when Kevin fell down the stairs at the beginning and hit his head, that he's in a coma, and Kevin's imagining all this. So this is through Kevin, like Kevin's in a coma for the whole movie, and this is what he's seeing, and we're seeing what he's
That's
seeing.
kind of what I thought too. Is when he fell down the stairs, he got like a head injury, and everything that was happening was all in his head, kind of thing. So.
And did you think he was going to wake up at the end or something?
I wasn't really sure where it was going to go at the end, but I just remember as soon as you said that he fell down the stairs, I was like, But yeah, I like your theory too, though.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, the whole coma thing.
Yeah.
I never even thought of that at all.
No.
So when I read that online in a comment, actually, it was a pretty long comment on a YouTube review, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. That could happen. But then the end, it's just like the demon never really, there's no happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
no.
demon just carries on. It's like he just kind of, I felt like the demon kind of didn't kill them completely, but left them alive long enough so he could just keep tormenting and playing around and, you know, just having its fun. Just
Yeah.
being in control and doing whatever it wanted. But the weird thing is that how it cut off the outside world, that was the part that was messing me, that because of the 911 call and everything, and then how would you go that long without checking on anybody? I don't know. Because then it say like 500 or something days.
Yeah, it was a long
Yeah,
time.
it was like 592.
It was almost like the house was taken into a different dimension.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of took it too. Like the demon took the whole house, and because at the end you see the house, and I was like, is that the toy house, or is that the actual house? And all you see is this darkness, and also we don't even know where the house is. It could have been a house in the suburbs, could have been a house out in the bush, you know, out on an acreage. So then who would know anyway?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
Or maybe it'll be
factors
like
of possibilities.
in a different dimension, like on the moon, or like in a really dark
Yeah, probably could have been on the moon. That's so to add to that, I guess everybody just wants to know if everybody lives or dies, right? That's probably,
Yeah.
or is that? Am I jumping ahead?
No, that's
I
fine.
wonder if there's something scary at the ending of.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know, man. I wanted to ask Kyle, but I meant to ask him, but I think right around the time it was because it started blowing up not too long after I finally got to watch it, and
Okay.
I'm not sure if everybody's alive or not, because I mean it's like you see blood splatter and you see people getting killed, and then it's like the demon brings them back to life and does it again, and then like that's
Yeah.
how powerful he is. Like it has complete control over everything. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm still struggling with that. I'm gonna ask Kyle. I'm gonna get around to it. It's just things started blowing up. That's when Skinamarink started blowing up. And
Okay,
that's
yeah.
when he got really busy, and we all got kind of
And I'm
consumed and overwhelmed with
Yeah.
our phones blowing up and this and that. And it's just like, okay. So I haven't had a chance because I mean he's been to LA already, and
Yeah.
I think we are gonna regroup at some point for a group photo, and we are gonna have a talk because I have some questions for him too.
Okay. I don't know if you know this or are allowed to answer this, but at the end of the movie there was a face shown, and I'm just wondering if you know who the face was. It's like a faded face, and it's like...
Yeah, it's super grainy. You can't really make it out. You can't even make it out if it's a male or a female.
Yeah.
Or
I honestly don't know. I mean, I can
Okay.
give you my theory.
Which part was it?
It's at the one at the very end of the movie where the
Yeah.
face is staring out at you in the audience.
Yeah.
That's where Kyle made it really interactive. He wanted to be like, okay, I'm coming for you next, sort of thing. Like the demon, it's
Okay.
looking at us. So my theory is it's the entity.
Okay.
okay.
I don't know. I haven't heard too much of it. What have you guys heard for what it was? Has anybody
I
said?
haven't heard anything about that.
No, nothing.
No.
I know people talked about it, but I don't remember. But yeah, so I remember reading that, and then I don't know if it was in a Variety article or if it was New York Times. People have been asking Kyle that a lot. Kyle has stated in many articles that he will not tell anyone.
Okay.
That is the only
Keeping
thing
it close to his...
Well, because he's given away a lot. I think by this point he's answered a lot of questions now, but he said he's going to keep one thing, and that's going to be it.
Okay.
And which I think that's cool, because then it's something to talk about, right?
Well, exactly. If he tells everyone everything, then...
There's nothing left to talk about.
Yeah, everything's answered and solved.
Yeah, so Kyle will never give that away.
Okay.
He's taking that to the grave with him.
All right. Do you think there's any meaning between those TV clips that were shown in the movie and the movie itself? So, like, there was the one TV clip where the guy was, like, opening the door, and another door appeared, and it opened another door, and another door appeared.
I also had a theory about this too, because there's the cartoon with the bunny and the dog. And
Yeah, I don't remember the other door thing.
Sam caught that one. I caught the rabbit.
Yeah,
then
the rabbit and that.
disappearing, being reappearing, disappearing.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. I actually don't know this. I'm sorry. Again, I haven't had time to talk to Kyle.
That's okay.
with
No,
everything
that's
going
okay.
on. But for theories, I was wondering that too when I saw it at the premiere. So I'll just say that I've seen the movie twice. So the first time I saw it, before Skinamarink blew up, Kyle had sent me a temporary link so I could view it at home.
Mhm.
And I didn't have that same experience because I think I was watching it from a creative point of view. Like I was like, okay, how was he doing this? Oh, he was like, I was thinking about how it was made and all that.
Yeah, not actually.
So I couldn't really get into it.
Yeah.
So that's why at the end I was like, what just happened? Like, what did this was a mess. Like, it did kind of mess with me because I got in it a little bit. But then when I watched it at the premiere, that took me on a completely different ride. Somehow I was able to absorb, like, I felt like it was really happening to Lucas and me a little bit. And so it was messing with me.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the part where I was thinking, I kept fixating on the rabbit part, and the part I was wondering if the rabbit was the entity at one point because wasn't he doing the disappearing act and stuff like that? So he was kind of messing with the other character, kind of like the Itchy and Scratchy show on Simpsons. How the mouse is always messing with the cat or whatever. So, but another thing is, he kept rewinding the VCR, and some people thought it was just the VCR screwing up, like the tape messing up. But then that was the demon replaying that scene over and over and over.
Okay.
So again, it was like the demon kind of flexing, like showing, he was messing with the TV as well and the kids' cartoons as well.
That's kind of what I got with the doors. I was like, he's like teasing them because he opens a door and there's another door, opens a door, there's another door. It's like,
that's really cool that you made that connection. I totally missed that.
Yeah, and with the bunny, what I got from it was the blood splatter with bringing the kid back to life, murdering the kid, bringing the kid back to life, murdering.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I got confused on that part because some people said it was Kevin watching Kaylee, but so I don't know who that is happening to.
Yeah.
I think it was Kaylee.
I thought it was too.
Well, because Kaylee had her mouth and eyes taken away because the demon was basically punishing her for probably talking or whatever.
Yeah.
And then,
No, it's because that Kylie wasn't listening to the demon.
Yeah, Kaylee. Kaylee wasn't listening to the demon, that's right. And then, so the demon punished her by taking away her eyes and mouth. Yeah. That scene really bothered me as well. That was really... I feel almost embarrassed, because of how... I can't believe how much it messed with me. It really...
It makes a difference for you, too, because your kid is actually in the movie.
Yeah, it was just messing with me, because I'm like, I know this is not real, but it feels real.
Yeah.
So I kept trying to bring myself out of it. I'm like, it's not real, it's a movie. But then I'm like, but I'm feeling this. It was so intense.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming. I was feeling emotional. I was like, I almost wanted to get up and leave the theater. That's how bad it was. And then especially when it showed the blood in that, and I'm like, is Kevin being killed over again? And he's bringing him back to life, and he's just gonna kill him again. And I was like, holy this is brutal.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a horror movie where someone's seeing someone killed once is bad enough, but then just to have it happen over and over and over, I was just like, yeah, I don't even have the words for that. You weren't even supposed to see that part, but he ran into the theater during that part, I think, didn't you?
Well, that's when I went in the theater, it's all fine. It's really fine. Then it's all that some skill. I didn't know it.
They weren't supposed to go in and see the movie. They were supposed to stay outside.
And they came in?
Yeah, they just ran in, and because I was sitting in the front at the premiere that night, and
it was a scary part.
Yeah, they just happened to come in, and then I knew that was going to happen. I had a feeling. I was like, oh, man.
My mom's fault for not telling us that about
Getting Mom in trouble. We're going to call
Ran
Mom
her out.
right after this.
Yeah, she didn't even tell us there was some
Or maybe it's because you ran away too fast and she couldn't catch you in time. There's that possibility, too. So the lesson you learned was to listen to Mom and Dad, right?
Yeah.
You need to train him.
How is the filming going viral, or how has the film going viral affected you guys, and do you think it was beneficial that it got leaked?
Oh, it's definitely beneficial that it got leaked.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I mean, well, yeah. Well, because that could have gone either way. And Kyle was
Yeah.
really... I actually remember talking to Kyle that day and texting him, and I'm like... He's like, I'm really worried. He's like, I don't... Like, Oh, yeah, because one of my friends had found it. A pirated version. And she's like, oh, yeah. And one of my friends shared it on my Facebook wall. And Kyle saw it, and he's like, tell her to take it off right now. I'm in the middle of talking with the guys from AMC and Shutter, and I don't want it to ruin my deal. And then I told my friend, and they're like, oh, sorry. You know, a good thing my friends were really good about it, because some people are like, who gives a shit? I'll just do it. But they were really good about it. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And they took down the post. So it actually got showed on Facebook for probably like a minute or two. And it got shared on my wall. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh, that's cool. The movie's out. And then I talked to Kyle, and he's like, no, it's not out. It got leaked, man. It's not. Nobody's supposed to see it yet. I could get sued, like, because I'm entering in a contract. And I was like, oh my God. And so obviously I messaged them, like, we got to get it off Facebook. So we were doing damage control, and
I'd be panicking.
Oh, I panicked. I was like, oh my God, because I don't know. I don't want to. Our careers are going to go down the toilet before they even take off. So we were in full panic mode at that point. And, so there was that little incident. We contained it because we didn't really know what was happening or where it was going to go and how people were finding it. But he managed to contain it a little bit, I guess. I didn't hear anything about it after that. Nobody really said much. And then... It was weird. My phone just started blowing up, like my notifications, like from Instagram and getting tagged in posts, and
Wow.
it was, and obviously I'm already on my phone as it is. We scroll a lot, so now I'm just like really scrolling. I remember killing like a good 3 or 4 hours pretty easy, just scrolling and just trying to keep up with everything. And I kind of burned out after the first 2 or 3 days of being glued to my phone. And yeah, I guess so the phone blowing up was a big deal. It was pretty exciting, but also at the same time it was overwhelming.
Yeah.
So then I started thinking, okay, am I going to get a call from an agent? Like, what's happening? How does it work? Does it still work that way? Like, are we taking off now? Are our careers taking off now? Like, what's happening?
That must have been like a really surreal experience.
The whole thing is... What's the word? I joke about it a lot. I'm like, the whole thing's effed up in a good way.
Yeah.
Because how you think it's going to go and how it actually goes is so different. Like, I always thought, my career will take off. Maybe I'll get picked up in some movie, or I'll meet some director, or I'll meet the right person in Vancouver or LA or New York, or you know what I mean. Like I pictured something happening completely different.
Yeah.
And I like horror movies, and I'm open to, like, obviously I'll be in a horror movie, but I wanted to do other movies.
Yeah.
I just never ever thought it would happen this way.
This
is what I'm
way,
trying
yeah.
to get at. And
I don't think
especially with my
anyone
kid.
does.
Like, because I started acting before I became a dad, and I always thought my career was going to take off then. I never dreamed in a million years it was going to happen with an independent horror movie with my son.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way it happened with it, because he first entered it, I believe they took it overseas, Italy, right? I think it won Best Feature Film.
Yeah, I saw that.
In Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think that's right around the time it got leaked.
Okay.
When it was over there, and then I don't even know how the TikTok thing went off. That was crazy. I started seeing a lot of TikToks. A lot of young kids were just going crazy about it. They're going
TikTok
nuts.
makes it go viral.
There's so many kids. Oh my God! I just saw the scariest movie. Like, it was just insane.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe people's reactions. They were
Yeah.
totally losing their minds.
That's awesome.
That's pretty fun.
It was exciting. I was just like, okay, so what do I do? Like, I don't like how. what do I do next? What do I do now? And I was
Yeah.
kind of driving myself crazy at one point. I was just like, I don't know what to do, man. This hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I've done this before.
Yeah.
So the only thing I knew was to start reaching out to people like my old Vancouver film school teachers and trying to get advice from them. And they're like, okay, you need to start reaching out to agencies. You need to get a reel together. You need to get your resume together. You need to get your poop in a group and get going on this before your window closes. And that's what I was thinking the whole time. You know, we have a window here because Skinamarink isn't going to be, or that was my thinking, was it isn't going to be super, you know, we aren't going to be super popular forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a limited amount of time to capitalize on this.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, and it's given us it's given us some opportunities.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we signed with, for example, Midnight Media Entertainment.
I saw that.
It's official now. It
Oh,
took-
perfect.
Congrats.
yeah, we negotiated that contract for like a few weeks.
What is the next question?
Okay, wait, Lucas. So, yeah, because contracts are tricky.
Mm-hmm.
One word can mean. So it took us a while to get it right. You know, went back and forth. Can you add this? Can you change this? I had to, for example, make sure it stated that Lucas couldn't sign for himself, that he's a minor, and that I'm his legal guardian and I have to sign for him. So that had to be added in there. I also wanted to make sure I was allowed to still pursue auditions and acting roles while doing this, and it didn't affect.
Yeah.
And I didn't, because he wanted a percentage of whatever we did, like for personal appearances, and so I wasn't sure. So yeah, and my friend Jordan helped me out quite a bit, and I had another friend who was an accountant and is versed in legal, what's the word?
Consultant?
Well, he has a great legal vocabulary there. So, anyways, he understood it. So we worked it out and we finally signed, and now he's pitching to different event companies, I guess.
Okay.
So that hopefully soon we'll be touring North America and doing horror conventions with like Leatherface and
That's exciting.
Candyman and Valentine, all those other horror greats. And
Have you been to any horror conventions?
I haven't. I'm kind of
They're
ashamed to say it.
so much fun.
Yeah.
They look fun.
They're fun to attend. I imagine you guys are gonna have a blast.
I've seen lots of
actually doing meet
videos.
and greets.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to start now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting into it now. Because I got away from horror for a bit, and I was getting more into action and Marvel and stuff. Because I'm kind of a nerd or geek that way. I've always loved Marvel and DC and that. So I got away
Same
from
with
the
Brendan.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I kind
that's
of got
okay,
away
I
from
hear you.
horror for a bit, and I was but now because of this, now I'm getting back in the horror. So now I'm gonna dive into that for a while.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, looking forward to attending some conventions and meeting people, and hopefully some more opportunities.
Hopefully you guys come out to the Niagara
Yeah,
conventions.
the Frightmare.
We go
I
to
need to
those every year now.
ask about that. I don't know if it. Well, it said
Travels
North
here.
America, so because that company's based out of the U.S. I think
Oh,
I think
okay.
Houston, Texas.
Okay.
So I don't know.
That's
I
cool
will get
though.
back
You
to you on
get
that.
to travel the states.
If it's Texas Frightmare, might swing up Niagara way, because I think Texas Frightmare and Niagara Frightmare is the Frightmare on the Falls is run by the same company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
'cause
So it
you-
is possible we'll be back and forth across the border then.
Yeah, because I think whenever they announce Texas Frightmare, the same people that are there usually come up north too.
Okay.
All right, good, cool. Because I know the deal is our flights are paid for, hotels are paid for, like our accommodation. So, yeah, it's going to be
Nice.
amazing. I'm looking forward to that. Like, I'm excited. Lucas, you're looking forward to meeting some fans, some more fans, I should say.
Yeah.
That's exciting stuff.
Are you two fans of horror?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why you're
So
here.
that's why we're doing the interview.
I didn't even know.
That's okay.
That's so funny.
And so what's the next question?
Do you think that you will work with Kyle again?
Do I think that that's a tricky question. It's like, so,
I know this question.
I don't know. It's not, I would love to work with him again. I told him that. So, do I think I'll get to work with Kyle again? So, that's almost like asking if there's going to be a sequel.
Well, no, maybe
I think I will.
Kyle's going to pursue a different genre. Maybe.
No, I think Kyle's.
Sticking to horror.
I had to be careful what I say here, but I did read in an article that he did mention he's doing a follow-up. Whether that means a direct sequel.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. If he's...
I know everybody wants to know that, but he said that. Oh yeah, I don't know if I need to ask him if he did that on purpose or if that was by accident. He mentioned it in a Twitter comment.
Okay.
And then someone caught him and was like, "Oh, there's a follow-up," and then he didn't answer. So now I'm wondering if that was a blooper, like that was a oops. So he is gonna. He hasn't started writing yet, but I know that he said he wants to write before summer hits, obviously, because he doesn't want to be stuck indoors during the nice weather. So he said he wants to. So he's going to be writing something here really soon before, and he wants to get it completed before summer.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what I heard him say.
Cool.
And I don't know what a follow-up means, if that's a direct sequel, because people are still wondering if anybody's alive or not, right? But my theory is that they are kind of like the demon. It just kind of left off as a cliffhanger, just as the demons just kind of repeating the process. So the movie's over because the demons doing what they want. So there's really no happy ending. So maybe he will write a happy ending in the sequel, or I don't know. Maybe he'll give us a little more. But I think because of the relationship we have, and because he's worked with us before, and I read that happens a lot with, especially in indie film. We're a little bit close knit now because of this whole adventure thing, and so there's a little bit of bonding, I guess. So I think I'm confident in saying I think I'll work with him again.
Awesome.
Cool.
What I'm thinking,
What are you thinking?
like when at the end when they all faded away, maybe the place will still calm until the last entity until
The cops come and arrest the entity?
yep.
Wow, what a twist.
Until you the rope to tie the
Okay,
entity.
so maybe you trick the entity into becoming a human form, and then the cops shoot a tranquilizer dart in his neck, and then they subdue him and put him in a special container,
Yeah.
and they cover him in tar and feathers,
And maybe like they tied him in a rope.
and they feed him marshmallows until he pukes.
Do you have any advice for other aspiring actors?
I do. One good piece of advice is beware of scammers, or like I say, fake agencies, because they are out there. I think I may not really got in trouble, but I think because I've worked with some of them, and a lot of times, based on my experience, they're the ones that ask for a lot of money up front. I had an experience where they wanted like $500 up front, and then they wanted me to continue. Like, I get wanting to send me these workshops and classes, but at the same time, after 5 months of me paying for classes, I already gave them $500. Then I'm paying $400 to $700. I was in the oil field at the time, so I could afford it, no problem. And this is before kids, so they were just sucking money out of me. And then I found out later that they were getting a percentage from the workshops.
Oh, wow.
So they didn't have to find me any acting work. And I'm kind of blowing the whistle. I'm basically a whistleblower now on some of those fake agencies out there. So be careful of that. That's my advice, because I don't want it to happen to them. It was because I didn't care at the time, because I had lots of money at the time, because I was single and I was in the oil field, and I was clearing like $4,000 a month. So I just could blow $4,000, and was like, all right, whatever it takes. I want to be an actor.
Yeah.
This is because at the time my thinking was, I need to do this. This is very important. I got to do whatever.
Do whatever it
Spend
takes,
all the money, and it's going to land me this big role. But it never happened. It took me like 5 months to realize I didn't get a role. I didn't get any auditions. I was just doing workshops, and they were they were all in cahoots together. Yeah, because you go into, you're like, yeah, I got an agent. This is exciting. My dream's coming true. And I just thought it was part of the gig.
The process.
But then after 5 months, that didn't feel very good.
Yeah.
But I did eventually find one agency that asked for money up front, but they did get me on Heartland, so that worked out. But I mean, like, by the time I paid for everything they wanted me to pay for, it's kind of like I broke even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was conflicting. So my advice is be smart, shop around, ask people. Luckily for me, since Skinamarink blew up, I've had a lot of actors from all over the world reach out to me and talk to me about their agencies. I had I'll mention Caroline Bailey. I don't know if she'll ever hear this. She's based out of Seattle. She was telling me about her agency and said I should check them out because she said they're a good agency that cares about actors, and because she's been ripped off too. Because there's actors that get ripped off, so you got to be careful. And so that's the agency side of it. The other advice I would say is if you want to get started is to go join a play, join a theater group, because that's the best kind of learning, I think, and training, and it usually doesn't cost much. Because you don't need to spend a ton of money to become an actor. I mean, you could go to a prestigious school and college, but
practice and experience.
I think experience. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not taking a dump on going to school. So yeah, so either join a theater group or look for casting calls. So just basically go out there and do it and get the experience, because the experience on set will take you further than anything. That's really the biggest question in the Alaskan industry. Do you have set etiquette, which is learning how to behave on set? Yeah. But I didn't need to take set etiquette because I had a job on the TV miniseries Moby Dick, right? I had 4 to 6 weeks on set, so I didn't need it. They're like, oh, you already know how everything works, and so you know how to behave, so you're good. So yeah, my advice is just to do your homework. Make sure you don't get scammed, and go have fun and try theater and or casting calls in the beginning. Like, just start it with background work at beginning, and then you'll get an idea where you want to go and what you want to do, and you'll meet people by then anyway. And network as much as possible.
Okay. Awesome.
So we got first listener questions. So from Mark Loves Horror on Instagram, he wants to know if, while filming, did anyone witness any supernatural entities?
Kind of a fun question.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're in a house we've never been in before, so, and I do remember the lights flickering at one point, and so I was like, obviously it was probably just a bad bulb, but you got to think. So
your brain goes there when that's the sort of movie you're filming.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, because during the audio and during the technical side of things, there's nothing scary going on, but the scenes upstairs when we were filming in the dark, I don't know. I didn't notice anything. I can't remember if their house were haunted or not. I need to ask Kyle that. I thought someone mentioned that his house might have been. He thought his house might have been haunted at one time. I could be wrong, but I need to confirm that.
Okay.
But I didn't witness anything really. Just the light. That was the only thing that creeped me out at one point.
Okay. What is, and sorry, this is again from Mark Loves Horror on Instagram. What is one word you would describe the movie? Did you want to answer that? So if you could describe the movie that you guys made in one word, what would the word be? Like creepy or spooky or?
Well, it's really creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the show dog, does something that confused me. Like, why does
So it was confusing.
Yeah, I can see that.
It does keep changing the...
Okay, so he's talking about when they were filming him and taking a picture of him in the hallway for the poster. In the poster you see him upside down, like the hallway's upside down. So he remembers them changing the lenses for that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so because he talks about that a lot.
Okay.
So
that's a cool poster.
Yeah.
It's a very cool poster. My first word was the F. Like, this is F, right? But in a good way. But because it messed with me so much.
Yeah.
But it was I guess the next best word is intense.
Yeah.
Like next level intense.
All right. And this one was kind of already answered, but I'll give a shout out anyway. Mallory from Oracle Stitches on Instagram wanted to know, did Lucas realize he was filming a scary movie at the time, or were the details kept from him? And I think you said that you kind of...
I think
hush-hushed a little bit.
That was complicated. I didn't, because this is his first horror movie, obviously, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, we're doing a scary movie. But then, being a curious kid that he is, one question leads to another, and then he starts thinking about it. Then he starts getting scared, and then it's like, oh man, like just went down, opened a can of worms, went
Yeah.
down a rabbit hole. It's just okay, Lucas, it's just for fun. And so he did, but because for anybody that's seen the movie, no, he didn't really think he was, except for when you guys were wandering around the halls when it was dark, for the scenes that it was dark, and him sitting on
Yeah.
the steps when it was dark. I think that's the only time. But other than that, no, because it was filmed so different, right? It
Yeah.
was put together like so the opposite of what I thought, like from reading the script and then to what I saw to what he did. I was like, wow. But yeah,
All right, are we ready for our last question?
Wait, is it the last question?
Last one, buddy. Okay, so this is from an anonymous, but what motivates you every day?
Me?
Yeah, you. What you got?
I don't know what that means.
So what?
what gets you going?
Yeah.
What? I never had to explain that.
I know.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You just know what it means.
Yeah.
So, what makes you want to do stuff?
That's really hard to
I
explain.
guess for an 8.
yeah, for an 8-year-old, just wanting to do stuff makes you want to do stuff.
Right. You
All
just
right.
like doing stuff, right? You just like being energetic and being active, just because.
I thought like being like really running around because every time I go in a new place and it's so big, I start running around because there's so much room that I can run around.
That's a perfect answer.
Yeah, that was
Perfect.
What
excellent.
motivates you? Energy.
Yeah.
Endless amounts of energy. Uncontrollable energy.
Yeah, I can't
What?
control my energy.
I know.
I don't
I know.
because every time I go fast, I can't stop myself. Like it's so hard for me to stop myself because I have so much energy.
I can
So I
tell.
had to.
We can tell.
So,
So, whose idea was it to give you a can of pop during a podcast?
Carol.
That's Carol. This is all Carol's doing. Okay. Shout out to Carol for being awesome. All right.
She's awesome because she makes the best poker ever.
All right. What
What motivates you every day?
motivates me?
Well,
Fitness, going to the gym.
I know.
Oh, I just I want to do better. I'm always striving to be a better version of myself. I want a better quality of life. I want to I don't know. It's really good. I haven't really thought about that in a while.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good answer.
Motivation comes in different. Sometimes you get motivated after you I've learned that motivation actually comes after you've already started. That was a flip, like that was a twist. I never thought of it that way, and I'm like, a lot of times that's actually true.
Though. Yeah.
Like sometimes you need the little push to go, but then you get motivated once you've already started doing it because you remember the feeling. So for example, going to the gym is hard some days, but then once I get going, then I'm like, oh yeah, this is the feeling. It feels awesome.
Yeah, and then you keep doing it.
For sure.
Yeah, just wanting to feel good every day is a
Yeah.
good motivation, a good motivator.
Yeah, definitely. That was the same with us too when we started the podcast.
Because we sat on the podcast for a year and a half.
Yeah, we had a mic for like a year.
And then
And
we
we
didn't
Well,
do
because
it.
who doesn't want to live the dream? Wanting to live the dream, meaning get it to do something you love to do and be
Yeah.
able to make a living at it, right? Or
Yeah.
and be able, yeah. So that's a great motivator in itself.
Yeah.
You know, to get to that place.
Before we close off, I want to thank Capital 33 for providing this podcasting space because it's a lot better than our
Yes.
living room.
And all the excellent sound equipment that we don't normally have.
So shout out to Capital 33 in Delhi, Ontario.
Yes.
And thank you, Ross and Lucas, for coming on today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
It's really because of me because I have my own Lucas's too. Like,
Do you want to plug your account one last time? Your Instagram or whatever social media?
Facebook's a little weird because I'm actually glad I got to talk about this because I've had a lot of friend requests from people all over
really?
the world. Yeah.
I find Facebook more personal. Like,
Yeah, that's
I
why I'm
wouldn't do it on
conflicted
Facebook.
about Facebook.
Yeah.
So, if anyone out there that's listening does send me a friend request, at least say something to me. Because a lot of people have been sending me requests, but they don't say anything. And then
Yeah.
I asked them, who are you, where are you from? Because I don't know if you're a fake account, if you're some weirdo, or if you're a fan, or who you are. Because we've all had that. And I actually did have a few cool people reach out to me after I chatted with them a bit, and I felt cool. The only reason is because in the beginning, my Facebook account, Ross Paul, was supposed to have been just for acting and more professional. But over time, when I kind of got out of acting and I became the single dad, it became more personal.
Yeah.
And then now I got thrown back into acting, so to speak. It's now both, and I'm like, how am I going to do this? I got my kids on there, and they're, our pictures of
Yeah.
them as in baby pictures and stuff. Then I got the privacy settings, but still, so the Facebook's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Instagram's cool. So Ross Paul on Instagram, or Ross is Awesome Sauce. That's such a long name. I wanted to change it, but I can't now. So
No,
that's
I
kind
like
of
that.
stuck. Ross
did
is
too.
Awesome Sauce, and I am on Twitter now. I forgot. I used to use Twitter a lot a long time ago when it was like really popular, but then I felt like it wasn't so popular, but it's still super popular in the U.S. and
It
Americans
is.
use it. So then I jumped back on there. So I am on Twitter under Ross Paul, and Snapchat, I don't know. And then I am on TikTok. I have a few TikToks under Ross Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't got Lucas on there. I am on IMDb as well. You can Skinamarink, IMDb
I
Skinamarink.
saw you don't have a picture on there yet. I don't think yet.
I did, but there's something wrong with my account, so I have to call somebody anyway because I wanted to know how to edit Lucas's account. Do I have to pay for 2 accounts, or can I? Because they kind of put him on there themselves.
Oh, really?
That's the weird part. Like, Kyle joked about it too. This is funny. So this is all kind of together. Like, Kyle was like, because I asked Kyle, I was like, are you going to update your IMDb? He's like, no, they can do it.
I think if you're a premium member, you can just say whatever you want. Like, you
But
can
I
add people and do whatever.
So this is a question I have then. So then, do the A-listers that are in Hollywood, do they pay for a premium membership, or does IMDb, like, I don't think like Tom Cruise pays for a IMDb membership. I think they've.
Oh no, I think it's just random people that can just do it.
Yeah, IMDb is
I'm
weird.
not too sure. Yeah, it is a weird.
It's very weird because based on what Kyle said, it sounds like Kyle doesn't have a membership, and they just did it for him and just did it. And Kyle's like, "Cool, I'm on IMDb."
That's weird.
And then I was over here like, I paid for it. I have a subscription, but then I kind of. So I'm like, okay, so if you make it as an actor and you're a celebrity, you don't have to pay for it. Just us little peons have to pay for it. So I'm still trying to figure out the whole IMDb thing, but.
Yeah, maybe you don't have to be paying for it.
Yeah.
If anyone has any good advice on IMDb, let me know. I'm gonna call them anyway because I need to figure out Lucas's account.
Yeah.
And I'm still unsure if I want Lucas on there. Like I'm so conflicted right now because he's a little kid, and a part of me is like, yeah, I need to get him out there and get him exposure, but at the same time, how do I protect him?
Yeah.
So
Is that fine line? So we're Our Life in Horror on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and if you want to email us at ourlifeinhorror@hotmail.com with any questions, suggestions, whatever.
oh, you can edit this in after. I do have a YouTube channel. I just haven't uploaded anything in a while.
Okay.
It's called YouTube/Ross is Lost.
Okay.
Okay.
I do resistance band training, and there's some older videos of me just being stupid, but so you might get a laugh out of some of them.
Okay.
I
I'll have to
do
dig that
plan
up.
to I do plan to upload again when I have time. I want to because I am a content creator. I'm an artist. I do love creating stuff, so I hope to get back to that, but I'd rather be too busy acting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
All right, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thanks for coming
Thank
on,
you for coming on,
and
guys.
thanks to everyone that's listening.
Cheers.